Blood clot vibes, yes, family lodge up yourself, think of yourself. It's the hostess with the most, it's select the Sila Shaloms on the one and twos. You know how we do. It's the vibes.
Bittersweet Herbals, where the taste is bitter, but the results are sweet. Bittersweetherbals.com.
Run the rhythm.
Bittersweet Herbals, where the taste is bitter, but the results are sweet. Bittersweetherbals.com.
Yes, family, make sure to get your bitters. You know how we dizzle. Yeah. You know the vibe. Where's the dreadful cuss, man? Where's the big man? Large up yourself, yeah? Where's the Brazil? All credits to the Most High. It's some blood clot vibe. I gotta give him a chance. Hold tight. I seen that live you did this morning. Excellent build this morning. Salute to the young God Prince. I gotta get a new webcam, yo. And take the vibrational frequencies of blow the vibes off, yeah? What type of vibes going on, yo? Yeah, I see the film chiming in. Take the screen off. That screen go crazy right now here on my lord. The screen go crazy. What's the vibe, family? The boy Sila Shalom in the building. I'm just tapping in. Ain't been live for a minute. No particular topic. Oh, well, no, I do got a topic. Oahspe science. Actually, last video I did, man, damn, my shit got disconnected and I didn't even know it, boy. I was going in for like 30 minutes before I clicked back and was like, yo, this shit done died out. I'm like, good Lord. It's all good, man. So good. What's up with the fam? How y'all doing? I see the Creator Gang chiming in. Bizarre, Prince, Messiah. Who that? Judah, Messiah, Judah. Where's the big man? Pepe. How you pronounce that? Peace to the righteous God and goddess for the whiz. What up, sis? What up, sis? I see you. I say what I want to say. That's right. That's right. What it do? You know how we do. Where's that, Fritz? Big up yourself, yeah? Shout out to the God Fritz. Always hitting me in the inbox with some information. Always keeping me abreast of Wagwan. Salute to the righteous them. You know what I mean? Salute to the righteous them. I got to get this goddamn web fixed. Oh, we got Malachi Maccabee in the building. Peace to the righteous God. I see you, King. I see you. You know what I mean? Yeah, yo, so I gotta get this goddamn I gotta get this webcam straightened out, yo. See if I can straighten this webcam out real quick. Yeah, man, I was just vibing. Last time I was live on science, creation, timeline. That's the next debate that Creative Gang is looking for. You know what I mean? Which one of you Israelites, which one of you Kemetics is going to take the challenge against the Creative Gang, or the Oahspe, however, dealing with science, creation, and timeline? You know what I mean? The gods are at war about this election. Yes, they at war. The false god, Louis, at war right now. Louis among is in a divided house. They say a divided house cannot stand. Louis among is divided within his own house, yo. That's a fact. Let me work on this camera right quick. Let me find a light, and we're gonna get to it. You know how we do. Hold tight. Blood vibes. You got my light. What you say, sis? That's right. Exactly. What we watching before us is the shift. If the shift, the era of Cosmon is going through a shift right now. You know what I mean? The young God Prince read from the book of Judgment earlier this morning. Excellent build. Salute to the God. But we definitely going through a shift right now. You know what I mean? 2048 is going to be 200 years after the birth of Cosmon. We're going through a shift. All the false gods' fulfillments, the prophecies, all that is now. They got to get out the way before 2048 and beyond. They out the way. You dig? What do you say, Dreadful Cosmon? FGK all day, false god killer all day. Goddamn day. Yeah. Salute to the righteous gods and goddesses. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, we waiting for the next debate. Sonetta was good. You know what I mean? We shut shit down on that four-man team debate. Who's gonna step up next? If we was weak and we wasn't about nothing, niggas would have been stepped up to the challenge and said, yo, son, let me get them niggas next, man. I'm gonna tear them down. You know, them niggas weak. Niggas ain't said a word since we left. Niggas out here debating weak topics if Jesus still existed and all that. Nah, yo, let's get into the real shit. Is the sky blue? Niggas is debating, is the sky blue and shit? Nah, nigga, let's debate the real shit. You know what I mean? Let's get into the what? Oahspe science, Torah science, Kemetic science. You know what I mean? Creation. Who creation story makes sense out of the three? Does the Oahspe creation story make sense out of the three? Does the biblical story creation make sense? Does the Kemetic story creation make sense? Both the biblical creation myth and the Kemetic creation myth is based off of deified entities creating. Whether if the deity is a man, expressed as elements of nature, regardless of how you put it, the Kemetic creation myth and the biblical creation myth starts with deified worship, deified acknowledgement. While the Oahspe is the opposite. Ain't no deified worship dealing with the Oahspe. Now, let me pull up something real quick. Let me pull up pull this up. Hold tight, hold tight. Everybody hold tight. It's rum punch. All right, let me see here. Let me get out a couple of things. Let me start off, yeah? So, Netta, what's up, man? I was supposed to be sitting with Jabari. How you going to put Pastor Bennett of all people up there, man? Where y'all running from Sila Shalom, man? This is supposed to be the toughest environment, and nigga, we taking heads right now. What's good, family? Why y'all scared to debate creation? The Kemetic creation versus the biblical creation versus the Oahspe's creation. What's this? What do you say? You said, sis, you active today, ain't you? Sis, active today. Absolutely. I pay attention to all the details. I heard them calling out Jesus Christ the other night on the debate. Then the deans didn't talk about their God. I find that interesting. Yeah, they still calling on Jesus. Y'all niggas still waiting on the Savior. Y'all niggas are still crippled. You know what I mean? Grown men don't wait on saviors. Grown men save others. Grown women save others. We don't praise to no Jesus. We don't praise to another man. We deal with the creator, the source. I got people saying creator now. Creator gang got people saying creator now. Because when you say God, you dealing with the man. Which one of you niggas gonna bow to my feet and kiss my ass? Which one of you ladies is gonna bow down and kiss my ass? Because God is a man. We have established that since day one. A god and a goddess is a man and a woman. And these gods and goddesses, these men and women, were one-time human beings in the flesh like us. Now they're our ancestors. And you have been ignorantly taught that the ancestors are the creator. We the only ones preaching the creator when it comes to this theological religious world. That's right. Let me share my screen real quick. So hold up. Let me go to the blue letter. Let me get my screen set up first before I'm gonna open it up, yeah? Let me open up one more ass clat thing. Go to your Oahspe. Yeah. Chapter 1. Yeah. Now let's cross compare. Let's beat up the biblical creation a little bit. You know what I mean? Let's do a cross comparison real quick. Let me share my erotic screen. Where is it, Prince? Big up yourself, Prince. Yeah, man. It's my little brother there, you know, King. Matter of fact, we're gonna send Prince out on one of these debates sooner or later. The God is ready. The God is definitely ready. It's just a matter of time. Get a debate. As a matter of fact, what about Prince versus Revelation X? See how I chopped that? See how I chopped that right there? Prince will clean the floor with my Trinity bedroom then. Oh, before I show my screen, you know what month we in? We in July. Next month is August, nigga. We about to go in the fall in a minute. And you know when the fall comes, you know what time it is, family.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
It's around the corner.
To pine oil heaven.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven.
Chestnuts roasting.
Just as a reminder, yo.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven.
So I'm just letting y'all know, you know what I mean? Fall time around the corner. We in summer. Once the fall comes, the falling of the false gods and the deliverance of hell from the false gods is around the corner. All right. Now look, this is the Genesis creation story, right? Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. Book of Jehovah, chapter 1, verse 1. Let's read Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. And then we're going to read the book of Jehovah, chapter 1, verse 1. Right? Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. In the Oahspe, book of Jehovah, chapter 1, all was, all is, all ever shall be. The all spoke, and motion was, and is, and ever shall be. Being positive was called he and him. The all motion was his speech. So now, with the very first verse of the book of Jehovah, chapter 1, verse 1, and the very first verse of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 1, we see we have a differences in who we would call the all. The Oahspe, the creator, is called the all. In Genesis, he's called God. Now, each word has a definition. See, a lot of people don't realize. A lot of Christians use the word God and don't even know there's a definition. It's an English word. Every word has a definition, right? So now, let's define the definition of God and let's define the definition of all, right? Let's start with God, because God is the one who creates. So when we hit 4:30, this is elementary, but we got to keep it elementary because sometimes some people are new to the channel. Some people don't know. Although we recycle these things over and over again, it's always somebody new trying to learn something. So reputation is a good thing. So when we hit God in the Hebrew, Elohim, right? It's first off, it's plural. It's plural. Plural is more than one. So we're not dealing with a one universal creator or universal God. We're dealing with universal gods with an S at the end, right? So God means what? It means a plethora of things. Rulers, notice it has an S at the end. All these has S's at the end. Rulers, judges. A ruler is a man. Ain't no cloud floating in space ruling anything. The only thing that could rule is a person, a man or a woman. So a ruler is referred to as a man. A judge is referred to as a man or a woman. Divine ones are referred to as men or women. Angels are referred to as men and women. And of course, gods are referred to as men and women. Here's the proof. A god is a man, a goddess is a woman. So right in the very definition of the Strong's, we see the plurality of God in its essence. God being male or female in duality. So now that's what God means. So like I said before, I am a man. Would you bow down and kiss the feet of angels as your creator? Would you bow down and kiss the feet of a judge as your creator? Will you bow down and kiss the feet of divine ones as your creator? So according to the Bible, God is an angel, right? Now, this is not the root word. This is the child word. Let's narrow it down. So that's Elohim. Now we go to Allah. This is the Arabic. When the Arabic said Allah, this is it. Allah, Eloah, right there. So what does Eloah mean? Or what does Allah mean? It means God, right? Right? What did God mean when we looked it up? Angel. But this is what a God is. A deity. See that? Deity. What is a deity? A deity is a man or a woman. So in the beginning, a man or a woman created the heavens and the earth. That's who that's who is claiming to be creator, a deity. Now let's trace it to the lowest common denominator, L, right here. This is L. The God of the Hebrew is called the God of Israel, right? So what is L? L means what? God. Just the English version, English rendition. The Hebrew is L. But what does it mean? What does it reference to? God, like one. Mighty one. Mighty what? Men. What? Men of ranks. Mighty heroes. A hero is either a man or a woman. Angels. God, false God. Look at that. Demons. Demons is associated with God. Look what it says. God, the one true God, Jehovah. Now we have a problem with this. Creator Gang got a problem with this statement because the Jehovah we serve ain't no goddamn God. The Jehovah we serve ain't no goddamn deity. The Jehovah we serve ain't no nigga sitting on the throne. Now, this is the one who's claiming to be creating in the heavens and the earth, a man floating in space by the name of Jehovah. Now, according to the Oahspe, because the Oahspe has the same name, Jehovah, and some people have said, "Oh, look, the Jehovah they copied from us." Because no. If Oahspe copied the Jehovah of the Bible, that means the Jehovah of the Bible will have to coincide with being a deity. Now, the Jehovah of the Oahspe is saying, "I am the all." What is the definition of all? Let's see. We read the definition of God. What is the definition of all? What does that say? To refer to the whole quantity. To refer to the whole quantity. Keyword, whole quantity. That means everything. You cannot be a deity with form and figure and proclaim to be the all, the whole. Right? Who is Jehovah from the Oahspe? Because they try to say that Jehovah of the Bible is the same Jehovah of the Oahspe. Here's the proof that they're not. The only thing that's the same is the name. The Jehovah of the Bible got, corrupted by fallen deities, fallen angels, fallen ancestors who took upon the name the same way Rick Ross took the name, Rick Freeway, what was it? Rick Ross took the name of the drug dealer Rick Ross. You got a fake Rick Ross and you got a real Rick Ross. So this is how Rick Ross comparison. The biblical Jehovah is the fake Rick Ross. The Oahspe Jehovah is the real Rick Ross. Just to keep it in layman terms so you'll understand where we're going with it. So who is Jehovah according to the Oahspe? Book of the Ark of Bond, chapter 9:12. What does it say? Who is Jehovah? It's a clear answer. What is the answer? And it is a clear question. What is the answer? The ever-present. He fills what? All. There go that word all again. He fills all space and place. Now, you cannot be a deity. Let me get what a deity is. Look at it. Let's go back to the word deity, because that's what they said God is a deity. Right? God is a deity. Let's see what a deity is for our newcomers who new to this. Right? This is what a deity is. You see that? When I click on deity, it gives you what? A man or a woman. These are deities. Regardless if it's coming from out of your Christian belief or if it's coming from out of India, China, it don't matter. A deity is a man, period. Right? But the all, the definition of all, meaning whole quantity, cannot be rendered as a deity. You cannot be a deity and claim to be the all. You cannot be deity and claim to be space-time continuum. This is where the difference resides. So the Jehovah in the Oahspe is saying what? I am the ever-present. He fills all, meaning the whole quantity of place and space. What is the definition of the word ever-present? What does it say? Used to describe something that is always there. What is something in creation that has always been? This right here. Right here. There you go. There he is. There your creator right there. This is what the Jehovah in the Oahspe describes as the creator. The ever-present, which is defined as something that is always there, and then it's also defined as the all, the whole quantity. This is an example of the whole quantity. Ever-present and whole quantity is how this Jehovah is described in the Oahspe. But Jehovah in the Bible is described as what? A deity. Matter of fact, let's get El real quick. God El. This is the Jehovah of the Bible right here. This is El. This is the God of the Bible. El. See that? El is the leader of all Canaanite gods, the creator. So your biblical concept of a creator is a man sitting on a throne like this. Let's go to the Strong's Concordance. Let's go to El. Right? So we're not making none of this up. Translation. El. See El right there? El. That's the same El you got right here, El. And he is what considered what? The creator. He's considered the creator. So this nigga sitting on the throne is considered the creator according to the Bible. But according to the Oahspe, the creator is described as this. Ever present. You can't put a beginning and an ending on the creator. You can't classify the creator as an ancestor. You can't classify the creator as a God or a Lord. He is beyond time measure. He is beyond a deity. This is the real science. You've been taught that this guy is the one who gave you the creation myth. He's sitting on the throne, floating through space, saying, in the beginning, God, I created the heavens and the earth. That's the claim. The claim in the Oahspe is saying that the all in all, through motion, created everything. Look at this. Look at the book of the Ark of Bond, chapter 4, verse 23. What does it say? Behold, I am what? The ever-present. What is ever-present? Something that has always been. And not, I repeat, I am not in the image, or I am not in the figure or image of a man. Hold on. We still there? All right, making sure. My phone was ringing. All right, cool. So look. Behold, I am the ever-present and not in the figure or image of a man. But I am the what? That word again. All space and place. What does all mean again? All means the whole quantity. So Jehovah in the Oahspe saying, yo, I'm the whole quantity. I occupy space and time. I am the ever-present. I have always been. You can't put a beginning on me. I created you with the beginning. But when you look into creation, you can't put a pinpoint on when this shit began. The Big Bang Theory, throw that shit in the garbage. They're trying to give you a beginning point with the Big Bang Theory. In the Oahspe, there is no beginning to creation. The only beginning is when creation itself begins to manifest in pockets of time and space, in pockets of the whole quantity. Here's the whole quantity. And in pockets of the whole quantity, you see forms of creation. You see the vortex. You see the vortex. You can't put a beginning or an ending on this shit that you see right. You see this picture right here? You see the galaxy? You see space-time continuum? You can't put a beginning on this. You can't say like, all right, right here in the left side right here is when everything's... No. There is no deity, there is no ancestor that could look and observe creation and say this is where it began. There is no beginning to creation, nor is there an ending to creation. But there is a function to creation, and that's what you must understand. The function of creation. The function of creation is the mechanics of the creator. It's the body parts. It's the workings of the creator. Once you understand the function, you understand creator a little better. Right now, what I'm showing you, all I'm showing you right now, that there's a difference between the biblical Jehovah being a deity, a God right here sitting on a throne, in comparison to what the Oahspe is describing as the creator, as the all, the whole quantity, the ever-present that has always been. Who you rocking with? I'm rocking with this right here. You rocking with this? Give me your one in the chat if you rocking with the creator described as the all and ever-present. And give me your two in the chat if you rocking with God sitting on a throne proclaiming to be the creator. One for the creator, two for God. Holla at me. So now let's move forward. Again, the book of the Arkaban 423 is letting you know that the creator is not in figure or form of a man. But according to the Bible, let's go back to Bible. Let's go back to Bible. We're dealing with creation here. So we already established that the biblical God is a man sitting on a throne. Now, does this biblical God got an image? We just read in the Oahspe that the ever-present doesn't have an image. He's not in the image of a man floating through space creating. But does the biblical God who sits on the throne, does he has an image? Let's see. Let's go to Genesis 1:26. What does it say? God said, let us, plurality, make man in our what? Image. God has an image. What did the Oahspe say, though? What did he say? I am the ever-present, not in the figure or image. Not in the figure or image. What did Genesis 1:26 say? And God said, let us make man in our image. Nigga, we have a conflict of interest here. You can't tell me that the Jehovah of the Bible and the Jehovah of the Oahspe are the same when I'm showing you the conflict of interest. I'm showing you the differentiation. I'm showing you the comparing and contrasting of the Bible and the Oahspe and showing you the difference. Chapter and verse. I'm not speculating off my own goddamn thoughts. What does image mean in the Hebrew? Selim. What does it mean? Image, images. Look, it even got heathen gods. What is heathen gods doing in the reference, biblical usage, in the definition of image? Why ain't he saying righteous God? Why got to be a heathen God? You got heathen gods associated with the word image in Genesis 1:26. God said, let us make man in our image. And when you click on the Hebrew word for image, it got heathen gods associated with it. What are we talking about here? Next, it says likeness. What? Of resemblance. If God made man in his image, that means the resemblance of man is that of God. But this is the God who you think is the creator. The nigga lied to you. You've been bamboozled for 6,000 years believing that the creator, the ever-present all, is in the image of a man or a woman. What did the Oahspe say? Not in the figure or image of a man. Right there. That's a death blow. That's a death blow. Not in the figure or image of a man. What did Genesis 1:26 say? God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. He's saying our. He's saying us. He's talking to somebody else here. This is supposed to be the Most High Creator we talk about according to the Bible. That's why the Bible been so confusing for 6,000 years. Because you're worshiping a false God. And Satan got you niggas hook, line, and sinker from the beginning of the book. Chapter 1, verse 1, he got you. Chapter 1, verse 1, let's scroll back up. Chapter 1, verse 1 in the Bible, Satan got you niggas right there by using the term God. He placed a deity before the creator. So now you believe this guy sitting on the throne, floating through space, is creating. He said he had an image in 26, verse 26. Verse 1, he's declaring who he is. He's declaring who he is. In the beginning, God created. He's claiming to be the creator. But then, These gods with the S at the end, because in the Hebrew, if we were reading this in Hebrew, Bereshit bara Elohim haaretz, what we're going to read is gods. So the ancient Hebrews knew that this was not the creator, but deities claiming to create. Nor are these deities speaking in behalf of a creator. It ain't like these gods are creating in behalf of the creator. They're making themselves the creator. They're making themselves the creator. So now, come back here. Not I am the ever-present and not in the figure or image of a man, but I am the all space and place. Doing my what? Doing my will. Doing my will through my angels and through the souls of men. That's how we connect to something that is incomprehensible. Because the incomprehensible created you, and you are part of the incomprehensible. How does creation start according to Oahspe? Coming back to the book of Jehovah, chapter 1, verse 1. All, we define what all was. All was, is, ever shall be. For those who don't know, all was is past. All is present. All ever shall be is the future. Now, that forms a circle. A circle. Was is the past, present, and ever shall be. All that is repeating itself. They say the past repeat itself. That means if that's the case, everything is flowing in a circle. The all spoke and motion was, is, and ever shall be. That motion that is flowing in a circle. Being positive was called he and him. Being positive. The circle flows east to west. That's the positive force of motion, east to west, according to the Oahspe. Right? So when it says right here, he and him, guess what? We're not talking about man. We're not talking about a man. It actually tells you what it's talking about. The all spoke and motion was. We're talking about motion. Being positive, meaning the positive force. You have duality in creation, positive and negative. The positive is called the masculine, called he and him. The negative is the feminine, her, she. But we're not talking about a man. We're talking about motion having a positive and negative effect. But according to Bible, God did, first of all, it don't say nothing about God creating motion. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That's vague. That's very vague, right? How did he create it? Let's get into how did he create it. And the earth was without form. So here we're going straight into the earth. And void and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. So they're showing you that the earth was already here. Without form. It's like a desolate planet. But that's not explaining how the earth was formed or how the earth was created. Verse 2 sounds more like something happened, a devastation happened, and that's part of some biblical beliefs that something happened before Genesis and God is recreating. Some people believe that based off verse 2. But how are things created? The Bible doesn't explain. How was the earth created? How was the heavens created? Let's explain how these things were created according to the Oahspe. What does it say right here? How does creation start according to the Oahspe? So we find out that everything, the whole quantity, is given motion. And this motion is called positive. It's positive energy. He and him. The all motion was his speech. Now, what is this motion? The vortex, the first cause of creation. How does motion flow? So if he creates motion, how does motion flow? Key point. Look what it states. For each and every corporeal world, I created a vortex first. Stop right there. I created a vortex first. Where in Genesis is God talking about creating the vortex? How can God, your biblical God who created the heavens and the earth, how can he define creation without referencing that which creates worlds? That which creates world is known as a vortex. For each and every corporeal world, a corporeal world is a sun, moon, star, planet. I created a vortex first. And by what? Its rotation, that's the motion. The rotation is the motion. That rotation is how motion flows. By its rotation, and from the places in the firmament where it travels, I caused the what? Vortex to conceive the corporeal earth. So the vortex is responsible for producing the earth. But when we go back to Genesis, it says, and the earth was without form. You cannot have an earth without the vortex. So the biblical creation story is giving you a non-practical creation story. It's not even giving you the first. It's like talking about having children and you're not talking about the sperm cell, which produce the child. You're just going into the adult and you're not going into the sperm cell, nor are you going into how the sperm cell connects to the egg to create the child. You're just going straight into the child as being here already. So the Oahspe is showing you how worlds are created through the vortex. And it says what? I caused the vortex to conceive the corporeal worlds. Here is an example of this. Here is an example of this. Every galaxy you see here has a vortex around it. That circle is the motion that the Creator spoke into existence. The all in all pushed dust particles, gave it a rotary, and then that rotary created life. That vortex is the force and power of life. Look what the Oahspe Bible say. Book of Cosmogony, Prophecy, chapter 1, verse 1. What does it state? The same principles apply to all. The stars, suns, planets, moons. See that? It's saying that the same principles apply to all these things, but differing in manifestation on account of size, motion, density, and relative place. So what do you see here in this picture that is all one and the same? What is one thing that you see in this picture that they're all sharing in comparison? That circle, that vortex. See that vortex surrounding that? You see in the center of the vortex, you see a sun in each one of these galaxies. Each one of these galaxies got a center sun. That sun could not exist if it wasn't for the vortex surrounding it. See that? See all these spiraling galaxies with a central sun? This is the objective reality of what Oahspe is saying in this verse up here when it states right here. I caused the vortex to conceive the corporeal world. Here are the vortexes, and the center of the vortex is the corporeal world. What is a corporeal world? Anything stars, suns, planets, moons. So you have a vortex and a central sun as shown here. Show me in the Bible where it can explain what you see here. These are pictures of galaxies. Show me in the Bible. Let's go to Genesis. Where in Genesis does it describe spiraling galaxies and explain the force and power that create those spiraling galaxies? Where that? God said, let's go. God said, let there be light. How is light produced in creation? Oh, he just spoke. This nigga floating through space right here. Poof. And light was. Poof. And heaven and earth are. No. Y'all niggas is rocking with the fairy tale. That's fairy tale. I'm giving you real practical science. So this God sitting, because Tazariak said God sitting on a throne. So this nigga floating through space, sitting on a throne, saying words like, God said, let there be light, and there was light. Let me show you something. Light just doesn't pop out into existence. Here is light. How was this light created? By the vortex. The vortex is the force and power that produce light. What do you see at the center of these vortices? light. The Oahspe is explaining how this light is manifested. I caused the vortex to conceive the corporeal world. See that? See that light in the center? That's the sun. Let's scroll down. What is a vortex? Let's give them some science. In fluid dynamics, a vortex, vortices or vortexes, is a region in a fluid in which what? The flow revolves around an axial line, which may be straight or curved. A straight line turns into a circle. It turns into a curve. Right here. In physics, physical chemistry, and engineering, fluid dynamics is a subdiscipline of fluid mechanics that describes the flow of what? Fluids, liquids, and gases. And what do you see right here is an example of the function of vortices. You remember I told you it's about the function of creator. I'm describing the function. The function of creator starts with the vortex. From the vortex, it precipitates things to the center. So on the left, right here, you see an example of a vortex. In the center, you see the helium atom showing you the same procession, spiraling, rotating. And you got the electrons and the protons in the center. I mean, you got the protons and the neutrons in the center, and you got the electrons surrounding, rotating around the nucleus. And then on the far right, what you see here is what? The central sun and the planets going around it in an orbit. The same way I showed you in the galaxies. So our sun has a vortex surrounding it as described in the galaxies I showed above. So I'm showing you one universal order that is explained in the Oahspe by the all, the ever-present, not a man sitting on a throne like this. There is nowhere in the Bible that it explains creation like this. When God said, let there be light, how was that light created? If you're not talking about a vortex, you're not talking about nothing. Vortices create light. The vortex create light. Let's jump down to that part, how the vortex create light right here. Creation of the sun. Book of Jehovah, chapter 3, verse 7, what it states? To make the sun, I created what? A great vortex. To make it, to make the sun. I can't have a sun without a vortex. So when God said, let there be light, you can't talk about light without a vortex. It's impossible. To make the sun, I created a great vortex. And within this vortex and subject to it, I made the vortices of many of the corporeal worlds. So they're saying within the sun's vortices, there's smaller vortices, which are the corporeal worlds, the planets. Look what it states. The sun's vortex I caused to rotate. Everything is in motion. And I gave it what? Power to carry other vortices within it. According to their density and position, they are thus carried forth round about the sun. And here's an example. Because the sun, because I showed you the pictures of the galaxies, the sun is in the center and the planets surround the sun. See that? One universal order. One universal order. Watch this. Let me hold on. Let me open up. Let me put it right beside it. Let me put the spiraling galaxies right beside it. All right, so look at this. One universal order. See that? Look at that. See our sun? This is our solar system right here. But this solar system that we're subjected to is the same as these spiraling galaxies. Ain't no different. A central sun, and surround those central sun are smaller vortices with planetary worlds, celestial worlds within them. Habitable or uninhabitable, either or. So, all right, so Oahspe is showing you one. I ain't showed you a man yet coming from the Oahspe. I ain't showed you Jehovah sitting on the throne in the Oahspe. I ain't showed you Jehovah as a deity in the Oahspe. I showed you Jehovah as being the all ever present, and through motion, worlds are created, galaxies are created by the vortex. Look what y'all just say in the book of Safar, chapter 1, verse 58. Jehovah said, "The sun I made as the head of a serpent, and his phalanx, the planets, I made as the body of a serpent. Thus I made the great corporeal serpent." Oahspe described the solar system as a serpent. So in your biblical account, when they talk about the serpent, you think it's a snake in the grass. In the Oahspe, it describes the serpent as the solar system, based off its motion. You ain't getting this out of the Bible. See that? Look, and God saw the light. So if God saw the light, he's standing off from afar looking at the light. He spoke the light he spoke the light into existence. He said, "Let there be light." That's like me saying, "Let there be light," and the sun appears. And now we're looking at the light. We're looking at the sun, saying, "Yeah, that's good." That's elementary. That's child. That's fairy tale. That's not real. That's not what I'm showing you is real. This is real. Vortex is real. The force and power of the vortex is real. Now let me scroll back up to show the force and power of vortices right here. You hear the Israelites try to say, the Most High is power. They don't know what they're talking about. The power that they're talking about at the Most High is this guy. This nigga ain't got no power compared to Creator. His power is limited. But the power of Creator, the real power, what does it say? Book of Jehovah 3:4. By what? The power of what? Rotation. That's where the power resides, in the rotation. The stronger the rotation, the greater the power. The weaker the rotation, the weaker the power. By the power of rotation, swift driving at what? The periphery, I condense the atmospheric worlds that float in the firmament, and these become my corporeal worlds. As above, so below. So here's an example of the same force and power. Here's a galaxy, power of rotation. You see the power of rotation. This power is generated at the periphery. Here's the point of generating power. See that? So when the Creator says the all motion was his speech, when the Creator spoke, motion started flowing where these arrows are. These are the pointers of motion. And from this motion, gathering up minerals, particles, gases, elements, dust, driven to the center, that is what produces the light in the galaxy. Now, the same force and power you see on Earth is the hurricane. It's the exact same concept. The force and power of the hurricane is at the periphery. This is where it says swift driving at the periphery. So where these arrows are is where the force and power is being generated for the hurricane to get power. See that? At the periphery. Ain't no man standing there blowing. Huh? Ain't no man on a wheelchair, on a throne, standing at the periphery as you see here blowing. The wheelchair God is not standing here blowing his breath, creating a hurricane. How was this hurricane created? By the force and power of the vortex, motion. The Creator is showing you who he is right here in the hurricane, and you don't even observe it. You're looking for a nigga on a throne in space to do these things. See that? And God saw the light, and that it was good, and God divided the light from the. This is elementary. This is play. This is for elementary. This 7-day creation story is for elementary kids. This is nursery rhymes at this point for adults. This is why the Oahspe had to come to clear up the confusion, to clear up the lie of what this false God sitting on the throne, claiming to be the Creator, that fed you a 7-day creation story for the last 6,000 years. And here we are, busting this false God in the head, showing you real creation, demonstrated in the book by the real Jehovah, and you niggas still don't get it. Book of Jehovah 3, chapter 2. chapter 3, verse 3, look what it states. The whirlwind I made as a sign to man of the way of my created worlds. Here go the whirlwind. That's objective right there. See the whirlwind? See the hurricane? Where is the power coming from this hurricane? It's coming from the peripheral, from the outside, because it's drawing everything to the center. And the center, so this is the top of the hurricane, this is the side of the hurricane. All the force of the hurricane is right up in here. That's what's tearing up shit right up in here. But you can't have this without having this first, coming outside the periphery. What does it say? As you see the power of the whirlwind gathering up the dust of the earth and driving it together, know that likewise I bring together the Jaya, the Aja, and the nebula in the firmament of heaven. By the power of the whirlwind, I created the sun, moons, and stars. See that? So we can't talk about let there be light. When God said let there be light, nigga, he ain't talking about no vortex. Let's even scoot down to verse 14 of the creation of the sun. Of the creation of the sun. God said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven. How? How can we have lights? Lights in the firmament of heaven are stars. Right? But look what the book say right here. Right here, look what it say. By the power of the whirlwind, I created the corporeal sun, moon, and what? Stars. So in Genesis, right? In Genesis 14, when it says, and God said, let there be lights in the firmament. The lights in the firmament are the stars. But you cannot have stars without having the vortex first to make them. So your God is giving you a false sense of creation by just giving you, talking to you, blotting out his mouth, a creation that doesn't even line up with creation itself. I'm showing you vortices. This is real. Show me in the Bible where it describes the force and power of hurricanes as the force and power of creation. That's what I'm showing you right now. There's an example. Same force and power. See the hurricane on Earth? The tornado on Earth? It's the same force and power in the cosmos. It's the same thing, same galaxy, same vortex, spiraling, driving things to its center. In the midst of the vortices, I made them. And by the power, Israelites always talk about power, though, the most highest power. Nigga, you ain't explaining power on this level. This is practical knowledge. This is scientific that you could prove in real time. Your God sitting on a throne can't prove this power I'm showing you. Ain't no look, ain't no nigga standing on. Look, where God at in this picture? He should be standing right here or right here, watching his creation, sitting on his wheelchair, sitting on his throne, floating through space. In the midst of the vortices, I made them, and by the power of the vortices, I turned them on their axis, and carried them in the orbits I alluded to them. Wider than to the moons of a planet, I have created the vortices, and they carry the moons also. See that? So the Oahspe is giving you a complete rundown of a breakdown of creation. Now, we beat up the Bible. We beat up the Bible enough, but then I said we got the Egyptian creation myth. Oh, you thought I forgot? You thought Kemet wasn't on the chopping block? The story describes how the sun god, also called Atum, created his son, Shu, and daughter Tefnu. Now, they're dealing with deified concepts. I ain't brought up a deified concept dealing with the Oahspe and Jehovah yet. I've been showing you the all motion, the ever-present in creation, and I ain't bring out a deity yet. But right off the rip, when we go into the Egyptian, the myth account, let's find the Wikipedia. Make it simple. Right? So now look. Let's scroll down. See what they're talking about. Some versions of the myth indicate spitting, others masturbating as the act of creation. The earliest god, Ra and Atum, both being creator sun gods. So Ra is a sun god. But look, he's a man. He's a man. I don't give a damn what y'all niggas talking about. He's a man. Claiming to be what? See, I didn't give you no deified concepts of creator. Nor did I give you any examples of the creator being a deified object to validate him being created. But right off the back in Egypt, it says Ra was the ancient Egyptian deity of the sun. Deity of the sun. A solar deity, a sun deity, is a deity who represent the sun or an aspect thereof. Such deities are usually associated with power and strength. I just showed you the real goddamn power, right? And strength and how it was generated in creation in real time. But according to the ancient Egyptians, right, solar deities and sun worship can be found throughout most of recorded history in various forms. The sun is sometimes referred to by its Latin name Sol, and its Greek Helios, and English word sun. All right, so now, when we're dealing with Ra, this is the concept, the deity of the sun. But now when we go to Oahspe, when we talk about the sun, nigga, we ain't dealing with no goddamn man with no... Yo, let me tell you something. Beating up the Kemetic crowd, I mean, it's going to be way worse than the goddamn Bible. I'm going to tell you that. Now, this nigga walking around with a falcon on his head, right? He had a falcon head, a human body, and a disc representing the sun with a snake hanging out the disc. Now, we ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that. That's mumbo jumbo. What's the real science of creation? Dealing with sun. We're not dealing with Ra. We're not dealing with a deified concept. The same way you got this God, El, claiming to be the creator and is deified, right? It's the same thing with the ancient Egyptians. You have the concept of the sun being deified as a man, as Ra. Well, in the Oahspe, we're not dealing with no deified concepts. We're dealing with science real time. Now let's break it down. Book of Jehovah 3:7, what it states. We read this just now. To make the sun, I created what? A great vortex. Huh? According to Ra, how is the sun created, Ra? How is the sun created according to the ancient Egyptian text? How is the sun created? According to the Oahspe, the sun is created by a great vortex, and as shown right here, there go the great vortex. Now show us, according to the Egyptian text, how Ra or Atum created the sun. The earliest god Ra or Atum, let's go to Atum, see what he's talking about. Atum, sometimes rendered as Atim or Tim, is the primordial god in Egyptian mythology from whom all else arose. He created himself. Now, when we spoke about the he in the Oahspe, we showed that he represented motion, positive motion, not a man. We ain't showed no deified nothing coming from Jehovah in the Oahspe yet. But right off the bat, we see a deity. We see deification. He, Atum, created himself. How did he create himself? And is the father of Shu and Tefnu. Now, what does Shu represent? Shu was one of the primordial Egyptian gods, spouse, and brother to the goddess Tefnu, and one of the 9 deities. Let me scroll down. He was the god of peace, lion, air, and wind. Now, he's known as air and wind, right? But he's a man being described. You can't, come on now. Where is the aspect of nature of this man being described as air? If I was to show a kid this picture, the concept of wind and air would not even fathom in his mind. He's going to be like, that's a man. The same way that's a man. So the same way the biblical God is dealing with deification, worship, and creating a deified deity creating, is the same way in the ancient Egyptian text. You have deified objects, deified men, supposedly representing elements of nature, but they're still dealing with the deification. I ain't showed you a deity yet coming from the Oahspe. When the sun was created, a vortex was created first. A vortex was created first. What did Judge say right here? I caused the vortex to create the corporeal world. Where is the vortex in Kemet? We can't talk about creation. We can't talk about Ra. We can't talk about Atum if we're not talking about the vortex first, as described in real time. Look at these pictures. Where Ra at? Where El at? Where Atum at? Nigga, we taking shots at all you niggas. Huh? Your Kemetic creation story don't compare and match up to Oahspe. Your biblical creation story doesn't compare and match up to Oahspe. And I'm showing you that right now. Go get Jabari. Come and bring Jabari up in here. Sinetta, y'all still running around talking about Jesus, nigga. We talking about creation and the concept of creation. This is the foundational thing. You can't have a Jesus if we don't talk about creation properly first. And then the Oahspe, we showing you the proper way of how Creator create things through the Vortex. One universal order, one universal principle. Not no Ra, not no Atum, not no El Elohim. Nigga, we bucking on all you niggas. And then we using chapter and verse from the book in the Oahspe, Book of Jehovah, chapter 3, verse 7. What book and what literature, what papyrus are we going to see the explanation of the creation of the sun? At least in the Bible, they're going to try their best to stick to chapter and verse, and we done beat them up already. But to you Kemetic niggas who study scripture, what chapter, what literature, what papyrus of Ani, what is the Egyptian book of coming forth by day and night? What you going to read to describe the creation of the sun? Because without a sun, we can't talk about an earth. Without a sun, we can't sustain life. So we got to talk about the very first act of creation to sustain ourselves on the planet. So let's talk about the sun. How was the sun created according to the ancient Egyptian text? I'm showing you in the Oahspe. We cooking over here. It's easy work. This easy work. We got the real science over here. Give me a one in the chat if y'all get us understand the family. We're gonna break for a minute. You know how we do. You know how we do. Matter of fact, let's run.
Bitter sweet herbals. What it tastes is bitter, but the results are sweet. bittersweetherbals.com.
Run the rhythm.
Bitter sweet herbals. What it tastes is bitter, but the results are sweet. bittersweetherbals.com.
Yes, family, make sure to get your bitters. You know how we do. You know what I mean? Give me a one in the chat if y'all getting this understanding, man. 28 people in the chat. I should see 28 ones. What's good, family? You know what I'm saying? Yes, family. Let's get that. We showing improving over here, man. Kemetic science versus the Oahspe science. I'm showing you right now, and biblical science. I'm showing all of y'all. Hold on for a second. Yes, family. So just from that little bit I described, from the Oahspe, from the Bible, and now the Kemetic, you see if anybody take this debate, how it's going to match up. And I'm just really freestyling. Don't let me organize this in a documentation and in a debate form. It's going to get ugly. Them Kemetic niggas going to be looking worse than the biblical niggas. At least the biblical God is one deity claiming to create. The Kemetic, they all over the place. You got Ra, Atum, you got Shu, Nep, Gug, Geb's supposed to be the earth. We're going to have a field day with the Kemetic niggas dealing with creation. And being that it's older and the oldest, you're the blame. Y'all always say that the Bible copied from Egypt. Christianity stole from Egypt. The Hebrew Israelites stole from Egypt. So if everybody stole from Egypt and now we're exposing Egypt, let's talk about Egypt. Let's talk about the creation of the sun in Egypt. How did the Egyptians look at the sun and how was it created? We showed you just now Ra is supposed to be the sun, a deified concept again. When I said what creates the sun in the Oahspe, it said the vortex. A vortex is not a deity. A vortex is motion, rotative motion and power. The power of rotation is a vortex. Maxim up, what's good, family? I see you, King. Yes, I. Dot of Jehovah. Where's his sister? Yo, they're not gonna debate after hearing this, Sila. I know they're gonna be watching. Yeah, they better be. I've been gone for a minute, man. I've been on set filming. I'm filming this lady. I've been hired to film this movie, so I've been busy, you know what I'm saying, going back and forth to Detroit and Baltimore. But I still got time to tear nigga fucking ass out with this goddamn truth, my nigga. You know what I mean? Anybody want to step to the table, nigga, you're gonna get dealt with. You understand? I ain't taking no prisoners. So I know it was good, nigga. We supposed to have that sit down with Jabari about creation, Oahspe science versus creation science. If you see this video, you're going to see how that shit going to turn out. Yeah, I want to hear them speak the creation coming from the text. Give me, I'm holding them in the same way I hold the Hebrews. Show me according to the text. Show me according to the text how the sun was created. Because without a sun, we can't have no earth. JJ was talking about, we're going to debunk the vortex theory. Bitch, this ain't no theory, nigga. Everything I'm showing is actual facts, proven in real time. Proven not only in scripture, but proven in nature. The vortex is shown in nature as a whirlwind. The whirlwind I made as a sign to man after manner of my created worlds, nigga. Ain't nothing else to talk about. The greatest reference, the greatest source is nature. What greatest source? The greatest PhD, nigga, is nature. Y'all niggas referencing these European PhDs. Y'all referencing these black PhDs. Bitch, I'm referencing nature as my PhD. When we talk about creation, the vortex comes first. We see the vortex in the whirlwind. We see the vortex in the hurricane. We see the vortex in the cyclone. We see the vortex in spiraling galaxies in the cosmos. One universal order. What we talking about here? Niggas don't want this work, bro. What up? Niggas want to debate if Jesus still existed or if Jesus is black or white. Niggas want to debate is Moab or Israelite. Niggas be debating the weakest topics, but when it comes to the strong man argument, when we want to debate your God, when Cosmo Cal talking about I'm gonna punch your God in the eye, y'all niggas run. When Daryl Cosmo said, nigga, Yahweh in the Bible is a demon, ain't none of y'all niggas rebuttal that. Ain't nobody come with chapter and verse what Daryl brought out and say, you know what, the brother had it wrong. This is what it meant. Ain't nobody did that. Yara ain't do it. JJ ain't do it. Judah Nasty ain't do it. Ain't none of them niggas on the Zion Lex ain't do it. Zariak ain't do it. None of them niggas did it, man. You see what I'm saying? Ask Jabari, according to the literature, what is the creation of the sun? Not based off what your teachers taught you. Based off what the literature say. Or any of them niggas who read Kemetic texts. Any of them niggas who read the hieroglyphs. Show me in the hieroglyph the creation of the sun. And make it make sense in real time. And show me an example in nature. Show me Ra in nature. Oh, Ra is the sun. No. No. When they show us Ra, they show us a nigga standing with an unk in his hand. How the hell is that an example of the sun? That's why I said if I show the kid the image of Ra, they're not going to be thinking of no goddamn sun. They're going to say, that's a man, daddy. That's a man, mommy. They're not going to look at the picture of Ra and say, that's the sun. He got to be taught that. He got to be taught that. You see what I'm saying? So I never supposed to been sit up there, sit down with me and Jabari. He over there debating Pastor Bennett. Like, really, nigga? Like, nigga, the fire is over here. Don't wait too late. See, like, Shlomo making power moves right now under the surface. And don't wait to be like, damn, nigga, I should have got this nigga when he was, nah, you know what I'm saying? Don't wait. Create a gang is on the move. You see what I'm saying? People paying attention. It's just like New York. When they had the hip hop, they was in their own world. They ain't paying attention to nobody, dissing everybody. Not knowing the South was sneaking right up behind you niggas and took the fucking throne. And y'all niggas can't get it back till this day. Just like Create a Gang, nigga. We sneaking up and y'all being blinded and we gotta take the throne. I beat up the Hebrews already. Beat up Tazariak. Beat up Zion Lex. Beat up JJ, Yara, and all them niggas in one battle. In that Create a Gang battle. Now what's left is Kemet to fall. You niggas is next. And we can start with creation. How the shit was created. Don't talk to me about the architect and how good and vast the architect of Egypt was. Nigga, we can talk about the architect of downtown Atlanta right now, nigga. And there was a whole bunch of Mexicans who built that great, beautiful architect in downtown Atlanta, nigga, and them niggas believe in Jesus Christ. Fuck that got to do with anything, nigga. Architect is architect. Anybody can learn architect and build shit. You give them the time and patience for it. That don't prove nothing. The pyramid's still here. You know, dusting away. Them pyramids ain't got shit to do with your spiritual ascension. Great architect, but what is it doing for you? You don't know what your ancestors were doing in the pyramids. Oahspe talks about the pyramids. Oahspe talks about what they was doing inside the pyramids, whether if you believe it or not. There was some high spiritual shit going on in Kemetian, hands down. No taking that away from it. But we calling you niggas out. This is a debate. This is battle of the holy books. This is battle of the literature. It's a new kid on the block calling Oahspe. It's taking heads. And don't get it twisted. We're not bound to the Oahspe. I keep telling y'all niggas that too. We're not bound to no books. We just some niggas who found the new book that'll rival the other books. See what I'm saying? So we're not diehard book to Bible to chest believers. I don't read the Oahspe every day. I done ran through that book so many times. I only pull that shit up when I need it for a debate or if I want to do a presentation or something. See what I'm saying? I'm seasoned in the Oahspe. So I use wisdom above all things. I just don't throw shit out there just to be throwing shit out there. You know what I mean? I'm very strategic. I'm very, very strategic. If I take a debate, I know I'm going to win it. That's why I took the debate. I know I'm going to win. The only way you're going to say I lose is because you favor my opponent, and you have a liking for that opponent, and you don't like to see your favorite opponent lose. When I took Zion Lex head, they didn't like that. He lost that. Everybody know that. But his followers didn't like to see that. They had to come with their rant to make it look like he won. But how can a nigga win when you only came out your Bible 5 times, 5 verses, and I came out the Oahspe and the Bible, 114 verses? That's like going to a basketball game and a nigga score 5 points and the next nigga score 114 points. It's clear to see who won. But do the Kemetic debate, nigga. Create a gang versus the Kemetics. We beat up the Hebrews already. We took out your top tier. He ain't got nobody else for us. Tazariak definitely ain't coming back in the room. He ran for me. He ran for me, and we can say that. Whatever excuse that nigga try to give y'all. Oh, the other brother, Sila, when I just didn't, yeah, nigga, but you had the flyers made up. We had the preliminary. We discussed the topic, produced the flyer, produced the date and the income, and you backed out. I could talk as much shit as I want, and I don't give a damn what you say. Because we're going to label it as an excuse. I didn't come to an excuse. But if you would have took that bait, that work I gave to Zion would have been given. And I trimmed down a lot of shit. I had to change a lot of shit for Zion to favor. But a lot of the way I had my shit set up for Tazariak, nigga, that would have been it for him. That would have been game over. And it really wasn't even game over for him. It really game over for Bible. Because that's what I was dealing with, Bible. So it don't matter who the goddamn component was. It could have been him, Zion, whoever it was. It would have been the same ass whooping. You know what I mean? It would have been the same ass whooping. You know what I mean? Easy work. Easy work. So here go Atum. Atum is the primordial god in Egypt, mythology, from whom all else rose. He created himself, and he is the father of Shu and Tefnu, the divine couple, who are the ancestors of the Egyptian deities. See that? We're dealing with deities. But then this is a mythology. So if it's a mythology, then what is the real? Nigga, don't give me the myth. What is the real? Which one of you niggas can explain the real instead of the myth? Y'all always explain the myth, but we don't want the myth. We want the real. I'm giving you the create a gang got a saying. We keep it real first. So we want the real. We don't want the myth. Y'all say Oahspe is a mythical book. When it comes to the creation aspect of the Oahspe, ain't shit mythical about that. Ain't shit mythical about a vortex. Ain't shit mythical about this right here. This ain't mythical. Huh? Oahspe say the vortex is the first cause of creation. And then a vortex is found in fluid dynamics. This ain't no myth. Fluid dynamics is not a myth, nigga. Fluid dynamics is not Ra, Atum, and Shu, and Tefnu. Fluid dynamics is real science. Vortex could be found in physics, physical chemistry, and engineering. See the vortex right here in engineering? See the circle? That force and power? See physical chemistry? See it? Yeah. And even in a false Big Bang theory, you still see the vortex. You still see the circular. Although this Big Bang theory is false. The truth is the vortex. The vortex is produced in pockets of space, different areas of space. Once that rotary begins, that's the beginning of creation for that vortice, for that galaxy. Show me this in the Kemetic text. Show me the vortex in Kemetic text. Show me the power of how this vortex works through rotation. The power, the force and power of the vortex. Show it to us. See that? As above, so below. Show it to us. You say the Kemetic creation is a cosmological creation. Well, over here is the cosmos. The galaxy is in the cosmos. Show us how this function works. We can do what? Vortex. First through motion, which is spoken by the all. Then this motion is given a rotary, which is the vortex. And the force and power depends on how fast or slow the vortex is spinning. We got a hurricane. What we got hurricanes broken down in categories. The category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that all depends on what? The force and power of the vortex or the winds. One universal order. See, that's why we're going to win. Because we can explain this in real time. It's practical knowledge. Whether if you can't stand the Oahspe, we don't give a damn about your feelings. I'm going to just expose to show you that this is the new kid on the block and he's running shit when it comes to creation. And this is the book of Jehovah. This is not even a cosmogony and prophecy of the Oahspe, where it goes deeper into the science. This is just a preliminary. This is the equivalent of Genesis, the elementary explanation. Just like your Genesis creation story, the 7 days is elementary. This is Oahspe breaking down the elementary parts, just so you can get an idea of how creation works. You've been seeing this in creation all this time and never known. You've been looking at hurricanes all your life and never know that same force of power is the same force of power that create worlds, that creates suns. That creates suns. And I know this is something that you niggas ain't got right here. Let's go to it. Let's go to this one, Book of Safar. Jehovah said, the sun I made as the head of a serpent, and its Felix I made as the body of a serpent. This I made the great corporeal serpent. Now, why would the Creator describe the solar system as a serpent? Why? The gang know this. We know this. You know, you hear about the serpent in Genesis. You hear these concepts of the serpent, but in the Oahspe, it says the serpent is described as our solar system. Now, you see how the serpent is moving? You see how the head of the serpent is moving? Up, it oscillates down. Up, down. Or if we're looking directly to it face to face, it'll be moving right, left, right. That's how the motion of a snake moves. But the Oahspe is saying the solar system is in likeness of this. How? Right? So they go to planets and the suns. So when Jehovah say right here, I made the body of the serpent. He said the sun I made as the head of a serpent. So the sun represents the head, and it's Felix, meaning the planets, I made as the body of a serpent, thus I made the great corporeal serpent. So our solar system is described as the serpent, the sun being the head of the serpent, and the planet representing the bodies. Why? Why? You know, we love this shit, fam. Why does Oahspe reference the solar system, the great serpent? The reason is because of its what? Motion. The sun is in motion. Here's the proof. 12 stunning pictures of the sun clicked over 12 months at the same place, same time, go viral. A college of 12 pictures of the sun clicked over a period of 12 months at the same place has gone for artists. All right, so check it. There go the date. But this is the sun. This is the sun. See, this when I had the debate with Zion and them, nigga, this shit went right over their head. They did not catch that first round at all. At all. Boy, they pay grade, but they claim to be conscious, right? This is the picture of the sun clicked at the beginning of every month for 12 months, 1 year. Now you can see, look at the house in the center right here. You see the house. So that lets you know that it's centralized. So the sun moves. So that's the up and that's the down. That's the right, that's the left, as the snake was moving. So this is showing you how the sun moves. It moves like this. It moves in a wave. It moves like a serpent. Now let's get 2 years. This is 24. This is 2 years. Look how that look. See that? This is 2 years. You see the house in the center? It ain't moved. It's centered. But look how the sun is moving from east to west, just like the serpent. This is why this is highest. Man, you ain't getting this. Show me this in the Kemetic. Show me that this. I'm explaining to you niggas raw, huh? For you, for the Kemetic niggas, I'm explaining to you raw. I'm showing you the function of Ra right now. You say Ra is the sun deity in ancient Egypt. Well, I'm showing you Ra. You niggas didn't know this. You didn't know that the sun oscillates. It moves from east to west. You ain't know that. If you known that, you would have been brought that out. This is a wave you're looking at right here. This is a wave, a frequency. The sun is moving and vibrating in a frequency wave. That's what the Oahspe calls the sun, the great serpent. Motion of earth and sun around the Milky Way, showing you the same things. Up is down. Even this is an example. They showing you that. See that? So even if you disagree with this picture, nigga, we can come right back here. It's the same shit. But this is real. Ain't no disputing this right here. And then you have a book explaining, referencing the sun as a serpent based off its motion. And then we look in real time and see the motion. Come on. Your Kemetic science can't compare to this. Your biblical science, nigga, that's just trash. Throw that in the garbage. We showing you the real science of creation through Creator. See that? Look at mechanic waves and look at light waves. This is how the sun moves. See how that's going up, down, up, down. And this one, right, left. See how the blue waves is moving from right to left? And the red up and down. That same force and power is what you see right here. That same wave right there. It's the same shit. Same wave, same frequency wave. Mechanical waves and light waves. Look at that. The sun is light, right? And look at that. When Jaja say the great serpent, there you have it. Your Kemetic sign can't match up to this. All you Kemetic niggas. I don't give a damn who it is. Inky, Goddamn it, Smash Rockwell, salute to the God. The Armor Rock Squad, y'all niggas can't match this. And show me in Kemetic science and explain the mechanical waves and light waves and the sun all showing one universal order and then show it coming out of a book to validate it? What do Oahspe say? Let's scroll back up. Let's scroll back up real quick. Niggas got short-term memory. Let's scroll back up. What the verse say? Book of Safar 158. What did Jehovah say? The sun I made as the head of a serpent, and his felix I made as the body of a serpent. Thus I made the great corporeal serpent. So the solar system is described as a serpent. Why? Based off its motion. Boom. Bag drop. Bag drop. Whoever told you the sun is stationary is a damn liar. I'm showing you it ain't right here. Sun ain't stationary. The sun is in the center of a vortex, and the earth is in the center of a vortex. The moon is in the center of a vortex. Every physical world has a vortex that is invisible to the naked eye that surrounds it. See that wave? See that wave of the sun? See that? This is 1 year, this is 2 years, this is 3 years, this is 4 years. That's 4 years. And it's showing you the wobble of the sun, this motion, this frequency. It's what? Light waves. That's the mystery of the serpent right there, my nigga. Ain't no damn serpent in the garden. Jesus was the serpent in the garden. Get that trash out of here. I'm showing you objectively, literature-wise, scientifically, and cosmologically with nature, this one universal order called a vortex and its motion. Now, show us Ra doing that. Show us Atum explaining that. He's supposed to be the creator. Look what it says. He's supposed to be the creator. Atum is the primordial god in Egyptian mythology from whom all else arose. This the creator right here. This guy. No different than this guy. If the Bible copied from Kemet, if the Christians copied from Kemet, if the Hebrews copied from Kemet, that means the concept of a deified God was copied from Kemet. Because they just said that Atum is the head nigga in charge. Let's see what it say down here. Atum is shown as a what? Man. Let's say it all together. Atum is shown as a what? Man. We're dealing with deified concepts to try to explain creation. But what I just showed you from the Oahspe is no deified concept to explain creation. I'm showing you creation through motion, vortexia, and from there the manifestation of what you know as sun, moon, stars, and planets. But Atum is shown as a man was scepter to show his power, a scepter to show his power, and an ankh to symbolize his association to life. He is only later and rarely shown with the double crown. Right? So you got Atum. So, but he said all emerged from him. But who was Ptah then? Well, Ptah above Atum. But like you say, it's different creation tales. So I'm not going to get too strung off on it. What I'm showing you is that the Kemetic niggas can't compare the Oahspe creation account, nigga. I don't want to hear nothing but the text. Don't come to me with your ego about Oahspe. Don't come to me with the John Bilal New Bro in this New Age book. Show me in a text that can rival what I'm bringing out with these goddamn concepts of mechanical waves, light waves, and the sun moving in that direction. Nigga, show me that in real time, space-time continuum. I don't want to hear your rant. So look. Atum was considered to be the first god, having created himself. Look, sitting on a mound. Hold up. Oh man, hold up, man. This is the same concept as the biblical God. Look what that say. Man, these niggas better fall back. Look what that say. Let's read that. Let me start from Atum. I don't feel like tumbling over the words. Look, Atum was considered to be the first god, having created himself, sitting on a mound, or identified with a mound itself, and rose from the primordial waters new. So he's sitting on this. In creation myth of the Heliopolitan form of ancient Egyptian religion, Ben was the mound that arose from the primordial waters Nu, upon which the creator deity Atum settled, meaning he sat his ass down. The Ben stone is the top stone of the pyramid. It is also related to the obelisk. So this nigga came out the waters and sat his ass down. So Atum is sitting on the Ben. That's the equivalent of this. God's sitting his ass down. He's tired. He's sitting on his throne. It's the same concept when we're dealing with Atum and the Ben. Just ask any nigga who studied Kemetic about the Ben. As far as Atum sitting on it. Primeval mound. In the pyramid text, utterance 587 and 600, Atum himself is at times referred to as mound. It was said to have turned into a small pyramid located in Heliopolis. Anum or Luna, within which Atum was said to dwell. Other cities developed their own myths of the primeval mound. At Memphis, the god Tatinan, an earth god, and the origin of all things in the shape of food and viands and divine offers, all good things, was the personification of primeval mound. Now look how goddamn, oh man, they got a lot to clean up. If they don't deal with us, they got a lot to clean up. I got a lot to explain. That shit is very simple to explain. According to Barry Kemp, the connection between the Ben, the phoenix, and the sun may well have been based on alteration, the rising Weben of the sun sending its rays toward the Ben, on which the Bennu bird lives. Utterance 600 and 1652 of the pyramid text speaks of Atum as you rose up as the Ben in the mansion of the Benum in Heliopolis. So yeah, they got a lot of explaining to do because all this shit is mythological, metaphorical. So what is the real? Give me the real creation myth. What is the creation real? We don't want the creation myth. We want the creation real. Give us the real creation. We giving you the real creation in the Oahspe. You can prove this. You can prove this. We giving you the real creation. See all this? This is the real creation. I ain't showed you a deity yet. Look at this. I ain't showed you a man claiming to be space. I ain't showed you a man laying on his back claiming to be earth. I'm showing you real shit. See that? See how the whole, yeah, y'all niggas better to run. Y'all better stay in y'all place, yo. This is the real house of consciousness, right? This is consciousness right here, space-time continuum. And we explain how this works without having to show a deity, without having to show a man or a woman or a dude sitting on the throne. We ain't got to do that over here. Or Jesus. Niggas talking about Jesus created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. These niggas done lost their mind. Let me get that. Because you got niggas who said Jesus created the heavens and the earth. So there go Jesus. You got Tazariak. He said Jesus. It was Jesus in the beginning. That's what he said. So they go Jesus, because some people do believe God is Jesus. You do. Matter of fact, dude, let's get some of them clips right quick. We cooking. Let's get some of them clips. Ain't nothing else really to talk about with that. So once them Kemetic niggas want to step up and deal with creation, you know what I mean? Oahspe science versus Kemetic science, explaining creation, and using literature, using chapter and verse or whatever utterance coming from the pyramid text, whether it's utterance number 1, whether it's utterance number 362, whatever utterance you niggas need to go to explain the fact of how the sun is created and the force and power to create the sun as we described in the Oahspe niggas. Game over. Ain't nothing else to talk about. The biblical niggas, y'all niggas better stay in y'all place. That 6-day creation story, y'all better stay in y'all place. Y'all better stay in y'all place. Because I'm going to ask you, was the world created in 6,000 years or 6 days? And more likely, you're going to say 6,000 years. Most people are going to say 6,000 years because they know that 6 days don't make no sense, right? So they're going to agree with 6,000 years. But then, here's the next catch. The creation story, according to let me go to it. Let me share my screen. See, these niggas is done put themselves in a nutshell fucking with me. You can't get out of this. Let me kill some of that. I'm going to pull up this joint for you biblical niggas. Did God create the heavens and the earth in 6 days or 6,000 years? Now, here's going to be their death blow for this argument right here. Malachi Maccabee said he already got the boy on clip validating that he believes it. So, time of creation, according to Yale University, look what it states in the purple. The starting point of the Hebrew chronology is the year 3761 BC. The date for the creation of the world is as described in the Old Testament, which is the Tanakh, which you niggas follow. The Jewish calendar is lunar solar based on the lunar months. Days alternating 30 days, and the extra month is intercalated every 3 years based on the 19-year cycle. But now look what it says. The starting point of the Hebrew chronology is 3764 BC, based off the Old Testament. So, you niggas got to follow that because that's been established. And if you disagree with that, you got to show us another calendar that is just consistent as that one. Let me trim some of this down. Right? So here's another reference. Now look, what does this say? This is a calendar. Look at this. Adar, that means March. Adar is the Hebrew word for March. And look what is the year, 5784. That's the year we're in according to the Hebrew calendar. I'm going to drop this link in the chat for ever who want it. Use it as reference and fuel because that got the year of the calendar. I just dropped that link in the chat. Let me show the calendar again where we at with it. Right? So I just dropped this link in the chat and you can save it because this shows the Hebrew year. Because they said God created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, 6,000 years. So this is it. From when God created the heaven, it's been 5,784 years since God said, "Let there be light." In a nutshell, it's been 5,784 years since God said, "In the beginning, I created the heavens and the earth." What does it say right here? The starting point of the Hebrew chronology is the year 3761 BC. 3761 BC is the equivalent and falls out to be 3784. So we're in the year 3784. But when you subtract that, it's going to bring you to 3761 BC. Here's another reference of the time the biblical account starts. right here. Look at this. According to Hebrew time reckoning, we are currently in the 6th millennium. The Hebrew count start in the year 3761 BCE. The practice was implemented in the 12th century when the Jewish philosopher Moses Maimonides established the time frame as the biblical date of creation. So Moses Maimonides, and let's look at Moses Maimonides. He ain't no Bantu Negro from the Congo. This is the guy who gave you your time. Moses Moshe ben Maimonides, Moshe. This is the man who gave you your timeline. And he ain't a Bantu Negro from the Congo. So, it states, again, according to the Hebrew time reckoning, we are currently in the 6th millennium. The Hebrew year count starts in the year 3761 BCE. The practice was implemented in the 12th century when the Jewish philosopher Moshe Maimonides established the time frame as the biblical date of creation. See that? And there he is. He ain't no Bantu Negro from the Congo, yo. There he is. Ain't no Bantu Negro from the Congo, son. There he is. That nigga look like a Macedonian. Let me find out. Let me find out he's Macedonian. But nonetheless, it's showing you the year 3761. So I'm showing you references where they have it already established that the year of creation was 3761. Here's another source. The initial epoch of the new moon is 11:11:20 p.m. at the meridian of Jerusalem on Monday, 7th October, 3761 BCE. This begins the Jewish calendar. So what I just showed you is several references that they stated creation began in the year 3761. Now, 3761, let me scroll down. This is 3761 right here. Got it real small. You see 3761, it says the time of creation. This is when God said, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Right? But then Narmer is 3150 BC. But God is creating heaven and earth in 3761 BC. Now the question is asked, did he create it in 6 days or 6,000 years? If he created it in 6,000 years, like everybody wanted to agree to, starting from 3761 BC, you niggas is in trouble. You niggas is in trouble. Because now, when we look at that, 3761, 1,000 years from there was 2761. But guess what was going on around that time? Let's scroll down. Now look at that. So on the left, you have the first day, creation of light and darkness, which is 1,000 years. So from 3761 BC to 2761 BC, for that first 1,000 years is when light was created, right? That's the first day, dealing with 1,000 years. So from 37 on the right side of the screen, you got the history during that time. So first day, creation of light in heaven. What was going on the earth plane? You had the Nakata culture. You had early dynastic periods of Egypt from 3761 BC to 2761 BC. You had the Nakata period in early pre-dynastic Egypt. So how can God be creating the heavens and the earth on the first day when you have historically this taking place on the earth. Let's go to the second day. This is the second day. God created the heavens on the second day. Second day, creation of the firmament. That's the 1,000 years, like they say. So that'll be the second day is 2,000 years. So from 2761 BC to 1761 BC would be the second day. So the creation of the firmament was taking place during the old kingdom and the middle kingdom of Egypt. 2761 to 1761 occupies the old and middle kingdom of Egypt. So how can on the earth plane these histories be going on, but according to the biblical narrative, God is supposed to be creating the firmament on the second day? Now look at the third day. The third day, God creates what? Dry land, grass, herbs, and fruits. And that will take place from 3761 BC to 761 BC. That'll be the third day dealing with the 1,000-year measure. And historically, what was going on is the New Kingdom, Third Intermediate of Egypt, the Greek Dark Ages. All this is going on when dry land is supposed to be being created. So the timeline of the Bible is way off. And that's what we're going to get you on the timeline. We're going to get you on that timeline because you can't, because you got to accept the fact that they already got an established date for the Hebrew calendar, being 3754 BC. 5784 is the year now. The beginning point of that is 3761 BC. So that's when you'll begin to create. If you disagree with that, you got to show something just as consistent from the 12th century, since Moses Maimonides established this time frame. Because you remember, he established the time frame, right? There you go, right there. Look, the practice was implemented in the 12th century when the Jewish philosopher Maimonides established the time frame as the biblical date for creation. So if you disagree with this, you would have to find another timeline that's been consistent from the 12th century coming on down to validate your argument if you disagree. If you can't find something that's just as consistent from the 12th century or previous for the 12th century, we holding you accountable to this. Because just because you don't believe it, we're going to brush it off. No, we holding you accountable. You want to be a Hebrew? You want to follow Jewish custom? You got to eat that. You got to eat that. See that? So just showing you that little bit, the time frame is off. This is Moses Maimonides' time period. This is his works. And he's the one who gave you that. Depiction of Maimonides teaching students about the measure of man in an illuminated manuscript. See that? Ain't no Bantu Negro from the Congo. But he gave you the, show me the Bantu Negro from the Congo giving you the Hebraic timeline. What is it? What year we in? Is it 3761 BC too? With them, who got the timeline? Y'all niggas ain't got nothing. And just because you disagree doesn't mean that doesn't make your argument legit. So we holding you accountable to that timeline. In the Oahspe, the timeline starts. Man was created what? 78,000 years? At least we playing with a farther margin. Y'all niggas is playing with 6,000 years. If they give me a one in the chat if y'all getting this understanding, family. This is easy work, man. It's a plot vibes. It's easy work. It's a blood clot vibes. It's a vibes, vibes, vibes. Well, let's go into these disclaimers, folks. Anybody messing with the gang, create a gang. Dig. Niggas don't want this work. Niggas don't want this smoke. It's a blood clot vibes. It's a vibes, vibes, vibes. You know what I mean? This they God right here. Just keep in mind, they said they God sit on the throne. Remember Tazariak said his God sit on the throne and he's a man of war. So that's an example of God floating through space-time continuum, blowing his breath, speaking things into existence. That's the wheelchair God. That's Yahweh. That's the biblical God. Now let's prove that these niggas said that he sits on the throne. So we're not making we're just making this up.
Sits on his throne and give orders.
So hold up. You said the Most High sits on the throne? The Creator sits on the throne. Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I said.
You heard him.
The Most High sits on his throne and give orders.
So hold up. You said the Most High sits on the throne? The Creator sits on the throne. Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I said.
And here's the Creator sitting on his throne, according to Tazariak. And according to many other cats who believe that God sits on the throne, floating through space, floating through heaven. Oh, man. You know what I mean? That's funny. The outlandish things these cats be saying.
As Jesus Christ was reincarnated on this earth 5 times. First as Adam, who we know as Jesus Christ was reincarnated on this earth 5 times. First as Adam.
See that? Outlandish. That's crazy. He said Adam came 5 times to the planet. Okay. Look at this.
Answer to Genesis, the 1st chapter. That's your answer why it says, let us make man. Because that's Christ and the angels doing the creating.
See that? He said that's Christ and the angels doing the creating. I just demonstrated you creation with no Christ, no angels, no wheelchair, God floating through space, creating anything. That's fairy tale. What I showed you was objective that could be proven in real time through nature and cosmogony, backed by literature. So you got to keep in mind, these are your top followers misleading the people on spirituality. Misleading the people on spirituality.
Talks about Genesis, the 1st chapter. The Most High is not the one doing the work. The angels are doing the work that the Most High ordered them to do.
See that confusion? All what he said is not even in Genesis. If that was true, that should have been found in Genesis right off the rip. Show you something here. If that was true, let me go to these verses real quick. Now watch this. Look what he said, and look how I'm gonna cut him with his own book.
When it talks about Genesis, the 1st chapter, the Most High is not the one doing the work. The angels are doing the work that the Most High ordered them to do.
Oh, y'all heard that. So he said it's the angels doing the work. He says that in two places. He says it again here.
Answer to Genesis, the first chapter. That's your answer why it says, let us make man, because that's Christ and the angels doing the creating.
So he said that's not God, but Christ and the angels doing the creating in the creation story in Genesis.
Talks about Genesis, the first chapter. The Most High is not the one doing the work. The angels are doing the work that the Most High ordered them to do.
So he said the Most High is not doing the work. Now, let me show y'all something.
As Jesus Christ.
Hold on, my bad. He said the angels are not doing the work. Let me get that one more time. Let me get both of them one more time to be.
Answer to Genesis, the first chapter. That's your answer why it says, let us make man, because that's Christ and the angels doing the creating.
He said that's Christ and the angels doing the creating in the 6-day creation and not God.
Talks about Genesis, the first chapter. The Most High is not the one doing the work. The angels are doing the work that the Most High ordered them to do.
Now he said the same thing. He said the Most High is not doing the work, but the angels. Now let me go to the Bible and cut all that to shreds. Now look. Overall precepts to validate that the Lord God is Jehovah and not Jesus Christ. Jeremiah 32:17. And Lord God, Jehovah, behold, you have made the heavens and the earth. So right here in that first verse, it says Jehovah or God made the heavens and the earth. It didn't say nothing about Jesus Christ and the angels. 1 Chronicles 16:26. For all the gods of the people are idols, but the Lord, Jehovah, made the heavens. So right here again, it says Jehovah made the heavens. It didn't say nothing about Jesus Christ and the angels. Nehemiah 9:6. You alone are the Lord Jehovah. You have made the heavens. So again, here in this verse in Nehemiah 9:6, it didn't say nothing about Jesus Christ and the angels creating the heavens. Isaiah 43:11. I, even I am the Lord Jehovah, and besides me there is no Savior. So right here, it's stating that Jehovah has no saviors besides him. So there could be no Jesus Christ and the angels creating when Isaiah 43 is saying there is no saviors beside me. Isaiah 43:12. Therefore ye are my witness, saith the Lord Jehovah, that I am what? God. That I am what? God. You remember Tazariak said the Lord and Jehovah are not the same. The Most High wasn't creating in the beginning. So with these verses, I just proved that. And even with Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, right here, in the beginning, God, Jehovah, created the heavens and the earth. It didn't say Jesus Christ and the angels nowhere in any of these verses. So when Tazariak said this right here to y'all, and y'all fell for it, hook, line, and sinker.
Answer to Genesis, the first chapter. That's your answer why it says, let us make man, because that's Christ and the angels doing the creating.
So I just saw precept upon precept, blonde hair, little hair, that is not true. And then again, he tries to validate it.
Talks about Genesis, the first chapter. The Most High is not the one doing the work. The angels are doing the work that the Most High ordered them to do.
See, again, he said the angels are doing the work. We just read precept upon precept that is not true. According to the Bible, it was him alone creating. The reason he says that is because he's following Paul, slave master Saul. And to top it off, hold on. He says God is not the Most High. Look, it says in the beginning, God. So that God is not the Most High is what you're saying?
No.
You heard that. Listen carefully. The beginning, when it says in the beginning, God. So that God is not the Most High is what you're saying?
No.
He said the God in the beginning, God created the heavens. He said that is not the Most High. Now let's see if he is telling the truth or if he is lying based off his own Bible. Now again, he said that's not the Most High, right? What did it say? Nehemiah 6, you alone are the Lord, Jehovah. You have made the heavens, right? Right? Jeremiah 32:17. Ah, Lord God, Jehovah, behold, you have made the heavens and the earth. Genesis 1 verse 1, in the beginning, God, Jehovah, created the heavens and the earth. So he's trying to say that this is not the Most High when the Bible is clearly telling you that according to the Bible, this is their Most High. So watch out for the deceivers is what I'm saying. Watch out for the gainsayers and niggas who be making up shit, twisting the word. We don't twist shit over here. Like I said, we keep it real first. You dig? And we gonna sign out with this right here. Your boy Slash Shlomo's about to chime out, get my day started. You know what I mean? We gonna salute. We out of here.
Is would you kill your child, your son, if your God told you to?
You said the Most High told me to?
Yeah.
Or man, the Most High said do it, then that's what it is. Yeah, man, the Most High said do it, then that's what it is.
Yeah, man, the Most High said do it, then that's what it is.
A 22-year-old woman told hotel workers in Holmes County that she had been directed by God. To go on a shooting spree about the solar eclipse, and that not long after she left the hotel in a purple Dodge Challenger driving to the interstate, traveling west, shooting into two cars. One of the drivers was shot in the neck, the other grazed in his arm.
If your God came to you right now, tonight, in pomp and glory, shining, and he commanded the death of your child, would you sacrifice your child?
If the Most High is going to do it, of course. If the Most High is going to do it, of course. If the Most High is going to do it, of course.
Peter Lucas Moses refers to himself as a radical religious person who is with the Black Hebrews. And he just pleaded guilty to killing a 4-year-old and a woman that he was living with. He killed the 4-year-old because he thought he was gay.
Moses believed 4-year-old Higginbotham was homosexual. Klein says Moses took Higginbotham to the garage, played the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, and shot him.
If God came to you and told you to sacrifice your kid, would you sacrifice your kid?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
God is called a terrible, demon-like power. God is called a terrible, demon-like power. God is called the terrible, demon-like power. So Napa means empty, you could say, or open. Shita means demon, or demon-like or terrible. Shita means demon, or demon-like or terrible. Shita means demon, or demon-like or terrible.
According to the criminal complaint, Polite told investigators God told him to shoot Pastor Germany. And he wanted to go to jail to clear his mind.
Would you kill your child or your grandchild if your God told you to?
Oh, man.
So that's a yes?
Yeah, it's a yes. But I think that it would be a test. I don't think the Lord would actually tell you to do it. I think it would just be a test because we can see.
You'd be willing to go through with it?
I'll go through any trial the Lord puts me through.
He was leader Yahweh Ben Yahweh, the self-proclaimed Son of God. One day in 1981, her North Dade home became a house of death. Banks and her husband, Carlton Carey, had just returned from talking with police about another Yahweh member who had been decapitated. Today, Yahweh Ben Yahweh is charged in her attempted murder and the death of her husband. October 1986, Yahweh's take over an Opelika apartment building. Two residents who were ordered to leave publicly complained. That night, both were shot to death.
Wow! Judah, do you hear me? If the Most High Yahweh tells you to kill your family, would you do it? Yes or no?
Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes.
Oh, Judah, no. Damn.
Judah didn't mean that, y'all.
If the Most High say, put your family down, would you do it for the Most High?
By faith, yes. By faith, yes. But he's going to tell me not to do it, just like he did Abraham. We have a story like that already. Next.
The moral law is that if a child was to be rebellious, okay, towards their parents, they was to be taken out and stoned to death because of that. You see what I'm saying?
Would you do that? Would you do that if your God came back to you today in glory and said, I want you to stone your son if he get rebellious? Would you? Would you do it?
Yeah, I probably would. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I probably would. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I probably would. Yeah, I would.
Wow.
The Most High was to come to you and ask you to off your loved ones. Would you do it, brother?
If I had made the mistake, if I didn't have ancestors inside of me and I made the mistake to make babies with outside nations, and then I heard the download from my ancestors saying that you need to put them away, yes, I will put them away. Yes, I will put them away. Yes, I will put them away.
Okay, Judah Nazareth, if the Most High come to you and say, I want you to put down your family, I have a better movement for you that I need you to do, would you do it?
They're out of here. They're out of here. They're out of here.
So there you have it, y'all. You can never, ever talk about create a gang, yo. Regardless of how much you disagree with the Oahspe, regardless of how spaced out you think it sounds, you'll never hear create a gang talking like you hear these Hebrew Israelites talk. You dig? And then you have them coming up with the excuse saying that, well, our God won't allow, he won't tell us to do that. They say, yeah, I'll do it. Like old girl said, I'll do it, but the Most High won't tell me to do it. And Tazariak said the same thing. Like they could dictate to the Most High. But if the Most High, like right here in Judges, and the children of Israel went up and wept before the Lord until evening, and asked counsel of the Lord, saying, shall I go up again to battle against the children of Benjamin, my brother? Right? What did the Lord say? The Lord said, go up against them. So you can't dictate to the Lord what he's going to say. So if you went to the Lord weeping, and keep in mind they weeping. So if you put your child on the altar, you weeping. It says, look, and the children of Israel went up and wept before the Lord until evening. So just imagine your Lord told you, all right, I want you to put your son on the sacrifice. I'm going to put your son on the altar. You weeping, you crying for your child. You just claim that, oh no, the Lord, he gonna test, but he ain't gonna really tell us to do it. But then hear what he say. They asked counsel of the Lord, shall we go up against the children of Benjamin, our brother? They killing. Whether if it's a sacrifice, it don't matter. You're taking a life away. The Lord said, go up against them. See that? You killing. If it's a sacrifice, it's a death. If it's a war, it's a death involved. So your Lord is validating sacrificing by killing. Whether if it's a baby. What about this one? What about this verse? Quick fast, 1 Samuel. You know where we going with that. Y'all trying to dictate to your Lord what to do. What happens if your Lord said this? Now go up and smite Amalek and utterly destroy them, but slay both men, woman, and infant and suckling. Now, if your Lord, that's a sacrifice. You killing them. You utterly destroying the infant. That's probably even worse than a burnt offering, because you utterly destroying and utterly slaying. If your Lord commanded you to do that, would you do it? That's the question. Y'all better watch out what type of God y'all following. That's what we've been telling y'all, because you know where you headed. You know right where you headed if you keep playing with these false gods.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy.
Y'all want to play with empty demons?
Chestnuts roasting.
Y'all want to follow these false gods? Somebody gonna sacrifice their children? You niggas is headed right here.
Pine oil heaven.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven.
And that's exactly where you niggas is heading if you don't get it right. And with that, your boy Salah Shalom is out of here. Till next time, salute, create a gang in the chat. You know how we do. And we up out of here, family.